It was impossible to scratch it. "What am I doing here?" he asked himself. Sensation returned. People were talking, and he was staring through the visor at the flattened desert dust a centimetre in front of his nose. Before he could move, somebody pulled him up by one arm. He unlatched his helmet. Iain Maristinu, also bareheaded, stood looking at him and shaking her head. Her hands were on her hips, her gun swung from one wrist. "You were terrible," she said, though not unkindly. She had the face of a beautiful child, but the slow, deep voice was knowing and roguish, a low-slung voice. The others sat around on the rocks and dust talking. A few were heading back to the clubhouse. Iain picked up Gurgeh's gun and presented it to him. He scratched his nose, then shook his head, refusing to take the weapon. "Iain," he told her, "this is for children." She paused, slung her gun over one shoulder, and shrugged, and the muzzles of both guns swung in the sunlight, glinting momentarily, and he saw the speeding line of missiles again and was dizzy for a second. "So," she said, "it isn't boring. You said you were bored. I thought you might enjoy a shoot." He dusted himself down and turned back toward the clubhouse. Iain walked alongside. Recovery drones drifted past them, collecting the components of the destructed machines. "It's infantile, Iain. Why fritter your time away with this nonsense?" They stopped at the top of the dune. The low clubhouse lay 100 meters away between them and the golden sand and snow-white surf. The sea was bright under the high sun. "Don't be so pompous," she told him. Her short brown hair moved in the same wind which blew the tops from the falling waves and sent the resulting spray curling back out to sea. She stooped to where some pieces of a shattered missile lay half buried in the dune, picked them up, blew sand grains off the shining surfaces, and turned the components over in her hands. "I enjoy it," she said. "I enjoy the sort of games you like, but I enjoy this too." She looked puzzled. "This is a game. Don't you get any pleasure from this sort of thing?" "No, and neither will you after a while." She shrugged easily. "Till then." She handed him the parts of the disintegrated machine. He inspected them while a group of young men passed, heading for the firing ranges. "Mr. Gurgeh?" One of the young males stopped, looking at Gurgeh quizzically. A fleeting expression of annoyance passed across the older man's face, to be replaced by the amused tolerance Iain had seen before in such situations. "Jernau Morat Gurgeh?" the young man said, still not quite sure. "Guilty." Gurgeh smiled gracefully and, Iain saw, straightened his back fractionally, drawing himself up a little. The younger man's face lit up. He executed a quick, formal bow. Gurgeh and Iain exchanged glances. "An honor to meet you, Mr. Gurgeh," the young man said, smiling widely. "My name's Shuro. He laughed. "I follow all your games. I have a complete set of your theoretical works on file." Gurgeh nodded. "How comprehensive of you." "Really, I'd be honored if any time you're here you'd play me at, well, anything. Deploy is probably my best game. I play off 3 points, but whereas my handicap, regrettably, is lack of time," Gurgeh said. "But certainly, if the chance ever arises, I shall be happy to play you." He gave a hint of a nod to the younger man. "A pleasure to have met you." The young man flushed and backed off, smiling. "The pleasure's all mine, Mr. Gurgeh. Goodbye, goodbye." He smiled, awkwardly, then turned and walked off to join his companions. Iain watched him go. "You enjoy all that stuff, don't you, Gurgeh?" She grinned. "Not at all," he said briskly. "It's annoying." Iain continued to watch the young man walking away, looking him up and down as he tramped off through the sand. She sighed. "But what about you?" Gurgeh looked with distaste at the pieces of missile in his hands. "Do you enjoy all this destruction?" "It's hardly destruction," Iain drawled. "The missiles are explosively dismantled, not destroyed. I can put one of those things back together in half an hour." "So it's false." "What isn't?" "Intellectual achievement, the exercise of skill, human feeling." Iain's mouth twisted in irony. She said, "I can see we have a long way to go before we understand each other, Gurgeh."